Pomni will never escape the amazing digital circus. Or will she? Well, in this video, we're going to answer that question. And you better get ready because what I found might actually blow your mind. But enough yapping, let's get right into the video. Pomni was introduced in the pilot episode of the amazing digital circus. And ever since then, she has been trapped in this digital world. From even the first few seconds of her being there, she was always obsessed over finding an exit to this digital hell. And as you may know, this world is ran by the AI game master Kane, who likes to hold various different games and adventures for the trapped human residents of the circus, who have presumably been trapped here for years. And it's not like there's no escape for these characters, because as we know, there are 8 abstracted characters that can be seen on the doors of the rooms, which means that there are at least 8 members of the circus who have previously disappeared. And this means there could be a chance for Pomni to actually escape. But before we answer that question, we need to look into it a little bit deeper. As we know, most of the pilot episode is seen through the lens of Pomni as she tries her best to navigate this new world with the help of some of the current residents without losing her mind, which is something that is very easy to do. Hence why the other characters like Ragatha and Jax try their best to appreciate the adventures that Kane puts them on in order to keep their minds busy. Because if you are not able to keep your mind busy in a place like this, it's very easy for you to lose your mind. In fact, many characters like Kinger and Gangle already seem to be at their breaking points, as shown in these clips right here.
They broke my comedy mask.
So, Kane, we having a new adventure today for the newbie or what?
Impenetrable fortress!
This path to insanity is typically rooted from the idea that no matter how hard one seems to try, there is really no way to get out of this digital circus. Which is why the other residents of the circus try to discourage Pomni to look for a way out, because the likelihood of it leading to disappointment and more agony is very high. But she can't really help herself after seeing the occasional exit door pop up out of the blue. And after she sees this exit door once, it is on her mind and she becomes even more curious hearing that another resident of the circus named Kaufmo has been looking for an exit as well.
You might be going insane too.
But wait, wouldn't that more likely mean the exit does exist?
Could also mean you just have a jump start and losing your mind.
Wait, what about Zubo? Well, I think I'd like to ask him about it, if this was real, which it isn't, because it's a dream.
However, by the time she and the other members of the crew find Kaufmo in his bedroom, he has completely lost it. His bedroom looks like something straight out of a horror movie, with the word exit written over and over again in red blood. His body turned from a standard-looking clown to some sort of multi-eyed monster with superhuman strength and the ability to make other things in the circus glitch out or completely disappear. You may be wondering what this has to do with Pomni escaping, but trust me, this all ties together. Pomni eventually finds the magic exit door while looking for Kane to help with the Kaufmo situation. However, what was on the other side was not really what she expected. The exit door did nothing other than taking her through a bunch of different rooms that looked like a standard office building. Over and over again, despite most of these rooms looking the exact same, Pomni would continue to push through, eventually reaching one room in particular that had an old-timey computer setup in the corner. After seeing this, Pomni began to really freak out, laughing like a crazy person, and even all of her teeth turning sharp, with the final door leading to a place called the Void, that Kane strongly encourages residents not to venture off into, because apparently even he doesn't know what's out there. Kane eventually realizes that Pomni is out in the Void thanks to his overall control of this world, and he eventually recalls her back to the main circus area where he has all the control. And when he gets back to the main circus, he finally heals Ragatha from the glitch. He also puts abstracted Kaufmo in the basement to spend the remainder of his days. Even though it looks almost completely pitch black in there, it's easy to see all the other colored demonic eyes in the sides, implying there have been other former humans trapped in the circus that have become abstracted in the past. Kane has to dispose of all these abstracted monsters. He does this so they can't harm the upper level members of the circus. But there seems to be one thing that Kane can't fix. Kane cannot seem to fix the abstracted members of the circus.
Kaufmo abstracted?
Why didn't anybody tell me? And into the cellar you go.
And that's actually likely because it's all related to that character escaping the circus, which I cover in this theory, which you should watch after this video. But back to Pomni, is there really any possible ways she can escape the circus? Well, we have to consider that this world has probably been a thing for a while now, because Kinger, who has apparently been there the longest, has been there for 48 years. And the server that this game is running on looks like it's some sort of abandoned computer from the 80s, judging by the computer monitor. The computer monitor is an old F-back, and the general setup just looks a little bit off because this looks like a virtual VR world, and it's a bit strange that this is actually meant to be from back in the day. Although VR headsets did exist back in the 90s, they were very hard to access. So it would make more sense if all this was in the modern day. Then there's also the question of how all these different people got here in the first place. And at first I thought one singular computer was the main gateway into this world, but that actually seems unlikely because that would mean every single person in the digital circus would have access to the same specific computer. But it's more likely that it's just a game that once you download on your computer will trap you in this world. So with all of that being said, it is truly possible for Pomni and the others to get back to their normal lives. If the series decides to take that route in the future where they're fully intended to be real people in the real world, it would be important for the creator to show that. Kane also reveals that he was the one who created the series of exit doors, but he keeps it a secret because he doesn't like others seeing his unfinished work. With the pilot episode ending at the dinner table with everyone eating supper together, despite not actually needing to eat or sleep in this digital world. With the camera zooming in on Pomni's face as her mind begins to crack little by little, followed by an overall world zooming to the point where it shows the final setup of the same computer. The same computer that Pomni saw while adventuring the exit rooms. But now that we have all the background information, we need to answer the question, will Pomni ever escape? Well, first we have to consider this. As we know, Pomni and Kaufmo are very similar. Almost too similar. And it's almost guaranteed that Kaufmo saw the exits. He most likely saw the void, as well as the basement, where all the abstracted characters are hidden in the form of monsters. But if he went insane enough to get abstracted, we can only imagine what he's seen. But what did Kaufmo see that Pomni didn't? The computer in the desk of the office of the exit rooms. We all know that this computer plays some sort of significance in the real and digital world, as we see it in the circus at the end of the show when we zoom out of the void into the real world. So I have a crazy theory where Kaufmo discovered this computer and saw something on here that ultimately led to him getting abstracted, which is the only way I found that Pomni could possibly escape this world. So if Pomni wants to escape the circus, she has to become insane like Kaufmo and finally realize all of the information she has been missing in order to leave. But if you want to know more about how Kaufmo escaped the digital circus, click on this video right here.